the YouTube page here real quick. Okay, we good. We good. Much love. All right. CGG in the building. First and foremost, all praises to the ever-present Great Spirit, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and exists within and without the universe and encompasses all things. Hmm? Shout out to my sister Karima. Thank you for hosting this tonight, this evening. Um, Shout out to CGG and shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out, and much love and light to everybody that's
I
gonna
don't know
be
if you
viewing.
can hear me, but JT, you keep calling. I'm online. You just threw my whole little thing off. You feel me? I'm not understanding. What is the purpose?
Right on. How's my audio? Is my audio good? Oh, what happened? Karima, how's my audio? Oh, something might have happened. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, all praise to their present creator. Hey, CGG, much love and light to y'all. Much love and light to the chat. Much love and light to everybody that's going to be viewing tonight. So the topic tonight, we're going to discuss, Oahspe. We're going to discuss Oahspe on salvation and resurrection. Okay. This information I was originally going to bring out during the debate that me and Brother Gideon was supposed to have back in October. Okay. And honestly, after I'm gonna pick a bone with you, Brother Gideon, after I get done with this presentation, because I saw that you was saying that I ran when actually, oh, the sister Karima drop off. You gotta share the screen, Sister Karima, if you still there, sister. Oh, okay, there we go.
Your
My bad.
screen up there.
Thank you, sister. I saw I was looking at I was going shifting between my tabs. What's up? All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, let's go ahead and go and get into it. All right. If the text is too small on the screen for y'all, I apologize. This is as big as I can get it. Because right now it's like big Sesame Street letters in my face. So I can only get it so big until I can't even read it no more. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. Let me go ahead and get like 30 seconds of silence before we get up in it, because we about to go ahead and vibrate higher. And also, by the way, if anybody watching, and y'all decide y'all want to hop on after the presentation to ask questions, please hold your questions to the end. Hold your questions to the end. Just take notes. Just take notes. And if it's something that you don't understand, hop on and let's talk about it. Hop on and let's talk about it. All right. Give me 30 seconds. The topic of discussion today is Oahspe on salvation and resurrection. Oahspe on salvation and resurrection. Hmm? In order to understand what salvation and resurrection is, we must first be able to comprehend what is considered to be our highest light and what is considered to be darkness. Huh? Our highest light and darkness. So, what is the highest light And what is darkness? We're going to read from Oahspe, Book of Discipline, chapter 8, verse 3 through 7, 11 and 13. It states, many are also under the prejudice of what? Old, old things. Many are also under the prejudice of old things, or the influence of a neighbor, or a spirit, or their surroundings, or the impulse of their own flesh, and say, I too follow my highest light. But check this, whereas they are in darkness altogether, nor do they know what is meant by the term highest light. Huh? Because this is what they do. Often venturing a what? An opinion or a vague surmise instead, and believing that they are expressing their highest light. Huh? They believe they're expressing their highest light when they express opinion and when they express vague surmise, huh? Without substantiating it, huh? For which reasons you shall explain that only what? Facts, well known or comparatively proven, are light. What is this? Huh? In opinion, pay attention, y'all. In opinion is not light. In opinion is not light. Now watch this, that whoever professes light must know the matter, huh? Not believe it, not from your personal feelings, not from your biases. You must know the matter by his own knowledge. We got to know the matter by our own knowledge, huh? That what? Facts and numbers and figures and axioms can demonstrate light. That's how you demonstrate light, with the facts, with the numbers, with the figures, with the axioms, huh? And that without these, then the supposed light is only darkness. Huh? That supposed light is only darkness. What do we say above? In opinion is not light. In opinion is darkness. Huh? These then, now I want y'all to pay attention to this. These then are the rules of light. These then are the rules of light, that which is self-evident, and that which is axiomatic, that which is what? Substantiated. It's substantiated by facts, that which has a parallel in known things. Here's what I want y'all to pay attention to in the rules of light. Here's what I want y'all to pay attention to. Watch this. The rules of light are things right here. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This has to do with resurrection and salvation here. The rules of light are things that lead to peace, things that lead to order, and things that lead to what? Uplifting. They lead to uplifting. Uplifting who? Uplifting who? Uplifting your neighbor, but not only uplifting your neighbor, uplifting yourself. This, though, is darkness. See, we have rules of light, and we also have darkness too, in contrast to the rules of light. Watch this. To express fault finding. This, though, is darkness. To express fault finding, to express criticism, to express censor, or even in opinion, unsupportable by facts. What did we say was darkness? Opinions are darkness. Opinions are not light. Opinions are not evident. Opinions are not factual. They're not axiomatic. But I want y'all to pay attention to this key word. The same way we paid attention to the key word uplifting when it came to rules of light. I want you all to pay attention to this key word when it comes to darkness, is criticism. criticism. We have two types of criticism. Two types of criticism. This is from my source, Thrive Works. Here's what they had to say about the two types of criticism. Criticism comes in two forms: destructive and constructive. So we have destructive criticism and we have constructive criticism. Both types of feedback point out our mistakes, our flaws, or potential improvements. However, while constructive criticism, pay attention, constructive criticism does what? Uplifts. Uh-oh. We got that in Oahspe too, under the rules of light. Uplifting. And it just so happens to be in my source, in the definition and explanation of constructive criticism. Wow. Constructive criticism uplifts. It offers suggestions and even provides possible solutions. Destructive criticism is what? It is cutting, it is derogatory, and sometimes even mocks our failures. And as I pointed out before, notice here what the explanation of constructive criticism from this source has in common with the rules of light in Oahspe. It says constructive criticism does what? It uplifts. It uplifts. And Oahspe says in the rules of light are things that lead to peace, order, and uplifting. That's going to be our theme tonight, is uplifting, rising, elevating, resurrecting, salvation. So what does it mean to uplift? What does it mean to uplift? It means to lift up. It means to elevate. It means to rise above. But I want y'all to pay special attention to definition number 2 of uplift in Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Pay close attention to this. Uplifting means to improve the spiritual, social, or intellectual condition of. Intellectual condition of. Check out what it says for Oahspe. In Oahspe on the cover, it says it is a primary. It is for the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of individuals, groups, and humanity, for their glory and their happiness, and for the glory of the whole. Oahspe is here for the spiritual uplifting of individuals, the spiritual uplifting of groups, the spiritual uplifting of the whole. To improve the spiritual, social, and intellectual condition of, And as a synonym for uplift, we got raise, Keep that in mind for when we talk about resurrection. Now, let's substitute the meaning of uplift with the word uplift in our passage on the rules of light. And watch how differently it hits y'all. Watch how differently it hits y'all. Check this out. These then are the rules of light. Things that lead to peace, order, and what? The improvement of the spiritual, social, or intellectual condition of your neighbor and yourself. How differently does that hit when it's spelled out? Things that lead to peace, order, and the improvement of the spiritual, social, and intellectual condition of your neighbor and yourself. This is about the progression of you. This is about the progression of the individual. This is about the progression of us. It's about the progression of groups. It's about the progressions of the individual. It's about the progressions of the whole. Huh? Spiritually, socially, and intellectually. That's light. That's light. Huh? So when it comes to criticism in regards to darkness, Oahspe is referring to destructive criticism. And if light leads to the improvement of the spiritual, social, or intellectual condition of one's neighbor and oneself, then darkness must lead to what? The destruction of the spiritual, social, or intellectual conditions of your neighbor and you. Huh? Y'all remember that song from the 90s? Self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction. Huh? Darkness. To which in darkness there is no salvation. I'm going to say that one more time. To which in darkness there is no salvation. In opinion, there is no salvation. In bias, there is no salvation. In prejudice, there is no salvation. Huh? In hating your neighbor and in hating yourself, there is no salvation of the group or the individual or of the whole. Huh? And if there is no salvation, nor is there resurrection. Huh? If there is no salvation first, there is no resurrection. There is no uplifting, there is no raising, there is no elevating, huh? There is no perpetual progression. We're going to touch more on this later on in the presentation. That was my quick little intro. We're going to go ahead and get into some spiritual movement before we get deeper off into salvation and resurrection. Huh? We going to church tonight. We going to church tonight. Before we begin to understand salvation and resurrection, we must first know the difference between God and Jehovah. Who is God? And how is he or she different from Jehovah? Huh? Who is God? Who is God and how is he or she different from Jehovah? We're going to read from Oahspe, Book of Discipline, chapter 1, verses 2 through 3, 5 through 6, and verse 14. Hear the words of your God, O man. Hear the words of your God, O man. I am your elder brother. What? What? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that God didn't say he was the father? He said he's the elder brother? I am your elder brother, risen from what? Mortality to a holy place in heaven. I have risen from mortality. Here we go with risen. Risen, resurrected from mortality to a holy place in heaven. God said to us, profit in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. Be admonished by my love. And he says it again. Here he goes. He reinforces it. God reinforces this in verse 3. God says, for as I am your elder brother, so shall it be with who? With you. With me. To do what? To do what? So shall it be with you. To do what? To rise. To rise, to resurrect, to rise in time, to rise also in time to come. Huh? And do what? And do what when we get there, God? And to look back at mortals, what? And to what? And to uplift them also. The same way God has looked to us and uplifted us and is calling us to the kingdom of the Almighty. Think about that. Let that sink in. For as I am your elder brother, so shall it be with you to rise in time to come and to look back to mortals and do what? Call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. That's God. That's what God's supposed to do. Huh? All life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen are by him and through him. Through who? The Creator, the Great Spirit. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high nor sufficiently wise to comprehend Jehovah. Huh? Nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Great Spirit in its entirety. Nor to see him as you see how, who, what, your fellow man. There is no seeing the Creator, the Great Spirit, face to face. There is no seeing him physically sitting on a throne wearing a cape. There is none of that when it comes to the ever-present Great Spirit, huh? Because its magnitude is what? Incomprehensible. Book of Af 1 and 8, huh? Let's do some precepts on that. Book of Af 1 and 8. The Creator says they look for me like they look for things. Things like what? Things that are tangible to the corporeal senses. They listen for my voice like they listen for a man's voice, huh? What is a man's voice? A man's voice is audible. A man's voice is audible. It produces sound waves, and what is registered by the sensory of the ear. It's registered by the sensory of the ear. But Jehovah is saying, the Great Spirit is saying, my voice is not like a sound wave. Think about it like this, y'all. Y'all think I'm crazy? Think of it like this. Huh? When you're speaking to yourself in your mind, are you picking that sound up from your physical ears? No, you're not. When you dream and you're having a conversation, huh, with someone in your dream, is that audible sound? Is that sound waves? No. That's all thought. That's happening in mind. That's happening in spirit, huh? They look for me like they look for things. They listen for my voice like they listen for a man's voice, and they do not find me, nor hear what I have spoken, yet none can efface my words. My wisdom endures forever. Forever. Behold, here it is right here, clearing it up, confirming what I was just telling you in the examples. Behold, I do not come as a sound to the ear. Where does the voice go? The voice goes quickly into the soul from all sides. Let that sink in for a minute, y'all. Let that sink in for a minute, y'all. Let's get back to Book of Discipline. Here's what God gonna say. God says, look, he says, hear your God, oh man. Hear your God, oh man, and distinguish between the two. What distinction? Distinguish between the two, that God, I'm gonna highlight this for y'all, that God and Jehovah are not the same one. Nor is your God. Listen up, y'all. This is about resurrection. Nor is your God, huh, more than what we shall be in time to come. Huh? Nor is our God more than anything, more than what we shall be in time to come. That's the destination. That's the destination, huh? That's the purpose of resurrecting. To be God. Huh? To be God, to be a God. Book of Discipline, chapter 1, verse 17, it states, as a kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless a mortal, So in like manner is the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels, and the chief over them is God, an angel also. An angel also. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in for a minute. Hey, shout out to the brother Jay Snake the Great. Shout out to you, brother. Listen, man, we met on the wrong foot, man. We got off on the wrong foot, man. But I want to apologize to you publicly, brother, man. You know, we shouldn't have got off like that, bro. So hopefully we can reset and move forward as brothers, man. Much love and light to you and yours. Huh? God is an angel. God is an angel. What is Jehovah? Let's get into this. Let's get into what is Jehovah. Let's look at what Jehovah is in the glossary. Great Spirit. In order to know what Jehovah is, let's look at what Great Spirit is. I've been calling Jehovah the Great Spirit the whole time during this presentation. Let's look this up. Great Spirit. The universe is earth. Earth is what? Corporeal. That's what earth is. The universe is sky, atmosphere. That's what the sky is, y'all. All around us. It's the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the sky. From the ground up. From the earth up is the atmosphere. And spirit, which is motion and expression. The Great Spirit is what? Is corpore, is atmosphere, and is spirit. Sky, earth, spirit. That's what the Great Spirit is. The universe is earth, sky, and spirit. The three, those three I just told y'all, earth, sky, and spirit. The three in one are what? Jehovah. The three in one are what? Jehovah. Sky, earth, and spirit. The universe is sky, earth, and spirit. The three conditions. Watch this. It's not a man on the throne. As the spirit of man is to the man, so is the Great Spirit to Jehovah. We're not talking about a physical man. We're not talking about an angel. Jehovah, the Great Spirit, is what? The three great states of reality. I want y'all to pay attention to this. You got to pay attention. Pay attention. Jehovah, the Great Spirit, are the three great states of reality. Yet is the intelligence behind and beyond all of reality. Oahspe, Book of Ben. This is what it states in Oahspe, Book of Ben, chapter 4, verses 3 and 5. I want y'all to pay attention to this. It has been said that the Great Spirit is a person. No, that's not the case. Because no one can know this, for his magnitude is what? Is incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible. Jehovah said, listen to what the Great Spirit said. My divisions are not like man's divisions. What are man's divisions, y'all? We got fingers, we got hands, we got arms, we got feet, we got legs and elbows and limbs and organs. Those divisions are not of the Creator. The Creator does not have our divisions. My divisions are not like man's divisions. Behold, I create one thing within another. Neither space, place, time, nor eternity stands in my way. What? The soul is S, y'all. The soul is spirit. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. All this is going to come back around full circle when we're talking about resurrection and salvation. Now, remember, if y'all was paying attention, what is the Great Spirit? The Great Spirit encompasses what? Earth. The Great Spirit encompasses the sky. The Great Spirit encompasses the spirit. Pay attention. Guess what Oahspe means? Guess what Oahspe means, y'all? Oahspe, the O, the A, the Spe. Oahspe, the O, the A, the Spe is a combination of three words from the early human language, meaning what? Sky, meaning earth, and meaning spirit. What do we say that what these were? Which are the three great conditions in our living reality. Everything is earth, everything is sky, everything is spirit. Watch, pay attention, y'all. We're gonna break this down. So when we say Oahspe, we are saying sky, earth, spirit. We are saying Oahspe. And when we put it together, it is Oahspe or Oahspe. Sky, earth, spirit are the three conditions we're made up of. Yes. Pay attention. Oahspe, Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verses 2 through 5. It states, Jehovah said, the Great Spirit said, I created the earth and fashioned it and placed it in the firmament, and by my presence brought forth who? Man. Brought man forth a living being. And what did he give us? What did the Great Spirit give us? I gave him a corporeal body, so that he can learn what corporeal things, things that are tangible to the corpore, things that are tangible to our senses, things that we can smell, things that we can taste, things that we can touch, things that we can hear, things that we can see. Come on, y'all. But what about in spirit? It says, the Great Spirit says, and I made death so that man could do what? Here we go. Rise and rise in the firmament and inherit my Ethereal worlds. To rise, to elevate in the firmament, elevate in the heavens. That's what the firmament is, the heavens, above and all around. Pay attention. I told y'all it's gonna come back full circle. And if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it. Our inheritance, y'all, as angels, as spiritual beings, is the Ethereal worlds. These nebulas, these stars, these worlds, these arcs, these chasms, these wonderful colors, and these mountains, and this beautiful scenery of brilliance, endless brilliance and change. So what does it mean to be corporeal? Corporeal is what is having, consisting of, or relating to a physical, material body. Corporeal, physical, material body. Everybody look at your hand. Feel your face. That's corporeal. You consist of a physical, material body. Huh? We right on track now. We knocking out corporeal. We just got to get to the spirit and to the atmosphere. Huh? Feel yourself. Look at your hand. Corporeal. The blood running through your veins. It's just as tangible. It's just as tangible as the condensed solid part of your body. It's just as tangible as your skin. It's just liquid. To S. What is S? S is spirit. To spirit, I gave dominion over corpore. To S, I gave dominion over corpore. What's the proof in that? Your thoughts are not corporeal. Our thoughts are not tangible. Our thoughts are in spirit. Before we can apply motion to our corporal bodies, it must be what? Thought of first. It has to become a thought. It's a thought. Think about that. It's the expression. We'll get to that. To S, I gave dominion over corpore, and with spirit, with S, I filled all places in the firmament. It's everywhere. Even within corpore. It penetrates all things. But Kapoor I made into earths. Now pay attention to this, y'all. Kapoor I made into earths, moons, stars, and suns. And it says, beyond number I made them, and I caused them to float in the places I allotted to them. Huh? But Kapoor is made of earths. What else is an earth, y'all? When we look up earth in the dictionary, it says what? The mortal human body. The mortal human body. We are corporeal, y'all. We are earths. Huh? And the same way we made out of the substance of the earth is made out of the substance of the cosmos. So what y'all think y'all are? What is it you think we are? Huh? That means that, listen, based on what I just said, Kapoor made earth, moon, stars, and suns. Huh? We are living manifestations of stars. We are living manifestations of moons and suns and earths. Book of Judgment, chapter 20, verse 8 states this: because of the ever presence of Jehovah, we were quickened into a conscious being. As what? Our earth body, y'all see that? Here it is, confirmed it in Oahspe, as our earth body is what? Of the earth. So is our spirit of Jehovah, the great spirit. We're streaming consciousness. We are streaming spirit. The same way you turn Netflix on and you stream a movie from the internet, we are streaming consciousness. We are streaming spirit right out of the ether. Huh? Proving that our bodies are an earth of the earth, and the earth is created from the substance of the cosmos. Huh? What is the universe, y'all? It's a systematic whole, held to arise by and persist through the direct intervention of divine power. Huh? Now we understand what Kapoor is. What is S? I jumped ahead and told y'all that S is the spirit, but let's break it down with Oahspe even further. So we have an earth body, right? Here we go. We got earth out the way. Let's talk about this spirit. Let's talk about the atmosphere and the spirit. Huh? Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2 through 5. Continue. Check it out. S are divided into two parts. S has been divided into two parts. We have a corporeal body, but S has been divided in two. And I commanded man to name them, and man called one what? Etheria, or ether. We'll say it that way. Man called one ether and the other what? Atmosphere. But atmospherian, sorry, wait, I lost myself. As I divided into two parts, and I commanded man to name them, and he called one etheria, or ether, and the other atmosphere, or atmosphere. These are the what? The three kinds of worlds I created: corporeal, atmospherian, and etherian. Huh? Huh? I also created atmospherian worlds in the firmament and gave them places, orbits, and courses for themselves. But atmospherian worlds I created shapeless and without fixed form. Think about that, y'all. I created shapeless and without fixed form. Huh? When we look at our atmosphere, huh? It is shapeless and it is without fixed form. For they are in the process of what? Condensation and dissolution. Look at the atmosphere, y'all. Look at the sky. It's always in the process of condensing, and it's always in the process of what? Dissolving. When we look up at the clouds, what are the clouds doing? They come into view. They condense and come into view as this mass of moisture. And when we get a clear day, what does it do? It dissipates into the atmosphere, huh? So what takes place in the atmosphere? Condensation and dissolution. And you can look at a cloud as an example of condensation and dissolution taking place in our atmosphere. And the atmosphere is an intermediate condition between etherian and corporeal worlds. So we stand on the earth, which is corporeal and solid, and the atmosphere is all around us. And just beyond the atmosphere is what? The ether. So the atmosphere, it stands between earth and it stands between the ether, space. Think about that. Hmm? Our creator is not just referring to celestial bodies being created out of the 3 degrees of density. We have a corporeal body, which is earth. So does that mean we also have an atmosphere? Huh? Do we have an atmosphere too? If we are sky, earth, spirit, do we have an atmosphere too? Huh? What is atmosphere defined? Atmosphere is the air of a locality. And so if atmosphere is the air of a locality, are we localities too that have an atmosphere? Hmm? Let's see. Oahspe, Book of Inspiration, chapter 1, verse 3 through 5. The Great Spirit states, our corpore I made, your corpore I made, in which to what? Y'all see that? Localize us. In which to localize us. Your corpore I made in which to localize you, to mature your entity. Without me, you would not have come to life. You are like the end of a ray of light from my person, and you are what focalized in your corporeal body. So here are these key points real quick. We are on earth, being that we have an earth body made out of the substances of the earth, which is made out of the substances of the cosmos, the substances of the ether. We are localized beings whose spirits have been focalized in our earth bodies. We have an atmosphere, which is the air of the locality. Pay attention. It's going to come full circle in just a moment. What does it mean to localize? It means to assign to or keep within a definite locality. Locality means the fact or condition of having a location in space and time. We all have locations in space and time. Hmm? The space that we are occupying right now, that's our locality. Hmm? And we have been focalized, brought to a focus. We've been brought to a focus by being impregnated with the spirit and consciousness. What is spirit according to Oahspe? How is spirit defined? Held to give life to physical organisms. I'm going to say that one more time. What is spirit in Merriam Dictionary? It is a animating force, held to give life to physical organisms. That's what spirit does. It gives life to physical organisms. It gives life to corporeal organisms. And Oahspe furthers this in saying that spirit also means the expression of an entity. So what we express is our spirit. We express our spirit when we speak, when we make corporal expressions like body language and faces and movements and dance and song. That's an expression of our entity through our corporal vessels. Spirit means the expression of an entity. For example, how one expresses and what is expressed are the results of the state of the spirit. Let that sink in for a second. We are mortal entities that have been brought to a focus in space and in time by an animating force held to give life to physical organisms, y'all. Just like the water, pay attention to these photos. Just like water can be taken from the ocean and focalized in a cup and made local in space, place, and in time, So is the spirit of man of Jehovah, the great spirit, and we are focalized in our bodies in space, in place, in time, and in eternity. Hmm? Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2 through 5, continue. For the substance of my Ethereum worlds, I created ETH, the most rarefied. And out of ETH, I made them, and I made ETH the subtlest of all created things. So subtle that it can't even be detectable by scientists. But if it's spirit, then it makes sense that ETH cannot be detected by any technology we can create, because it's not tangible to the corporeal man. We talked about this earlier. That's why it's important that we pay attention, because there's a lot of things that's going to come back around full circle in this presentation. And to ETH, I gave dominion. Let me go back. And I made ETH the subtlest of all created things. And I gave it power, and I gave it place, not only by itself, but also power to penetrate and exist within all things, even within corporeal worlds. And to ETH, I gave dominion over the atmosphere and the corpore. Is space not carrying us? Now watch this, y'all. We're gonna bring this section to a close. Watch this. Here are the key points I want y'all to pay attention to before I show y'all these diagrams. There are three types of worlds in creation. Here's what we learned. There are three types of worlds in creation. There's corporeal, there's atmospheric, and there's etherian. Without these three worlds, there is nothing that can be objectively viewed. Corpore consists of tangible material substance. S is divided into two parts, atmosphere and ether. Atmosphere is what? The air of a locality. Ether is the most rarefied element and penetrates all things. This includes what is corporeal and what is atmospheric. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is why the faithists say, as above, so below. Did y'all catch that? This is why we say, as above, so below. Celestially, as worlds have an earth, they have an atmosphere, and they have ether carrying them and penetrating through them. We also have an earth, our body. We also have an atmosphere, which is the air of our locality. And we also have an ether, which is the spirit, which is the expression of our entity. Do you see what's happening here? This is why we say as above, so below. The same mechanisms that take place above are the same mechanisms that take place below. But it even gets more infinitesimal with that when we go down into the atom. So let's look at the diagram. We have a corporal body. I told you to feel your face. I told you to look at your hand. That's your corporeal body. Now, the atmosphere is what? The air of a locality. That means we have an atmosphere. You want me to prove it? I mean, let's prove it objectively. Don't we all have body heat emitting from our corporal bodies? Don't we all have a smell emitting from our corporeal bodies? Those two alone, your body temperature and your smell, is part of your atmosphere. But wait a minute, doesn't the ether penetrate both the atmosphere and the corporal body? What is the ether? The spirit. What is spirit? That's personal expression. When your voice emits from your vocal box, that goes out into the ether. That goes out beyond your atmosphere. That goes out beyond your smell and your body temperature, and it transmits and it reaches somebody else. And it inspires. Meaning that what we say, what we express, it affects the world around us. Huh? That's why we have a responsibility to the whole world around us, because how we express ourselves, it transmits and it is received from the next person. And then within them, that turns into an inspiration. So what is it that we're inspiring? So what do you inspire? What do you inspire? Do you inspire darkness? Do we inspire our highest light, or do we inspire darkness? Huh? Do we inspire destructive criticism, or do we inspire constructive criticism? Uh-oh. Huh? You see how now it's coming around full circle? When we're being selfish, we express selfishness. We express the spirit of selfishness. When we're being hatred, we express the spirit of hatred. When we're being angry, when we're being jealous, those are the spirits that we express. And that goes out into the ether. And that has an effect on somebody else. But when we're loving, when we're comforting, when we're caring for someone, that goes out into the ether as well. And that has an effect on our neighbor. Huh? So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you transmit? Huh? How do you want to be received? However you want to be received, it's all based on what we transmit. I'm going to say that one more time. However we want to be received. However we want to be received is based on what we transmit. Ooh, wee. Oh, wee. Oh, wee. Oh, wee. Because we are created from the substances of the cosmos, this means that we are also created in its likeness. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my goodness. We halfway there, y'all. We halfway done. Because we are created from the substances of the cosmos, this means that we are also created in its likeness, huh? Don't that make sense? If we're created by the elements that are dissolved in the ether, and it condenses and creates an earth, and that condenses and it creates man, don't y'all think that we are created from the substance of the cosmos? And if we're created from the substances of the cosmos, that means that we are the I am. That means that we are the I am. Huh? Let's explore that. Let's explore that with the Oahspe, huh? Let's bring this back again. Let's bring this back again, huh? Let's rewind it in case you weren't paying attention at first. Oahspe, the Great Spirit. What is the Great Spirit, Oahspe? The Great Spirit is the universe. The universe is earth. The universe is sky. The universe is spirit. We just proved that. We just proved that. The three in one are what? Jehovah. And as the spirit of a man is to the man, so is the Great Spirit to Jehovah. Though Great Spirit is also used as synonymous with Jehovah. Huh? Let's go deeper. We're going to dig. We digging tonight, baby. We moving the spirit. Book of Ben 4, 3, and 5. Let's bring this back again if you wasn't paying attention. It has been said that the Great Spirit is a person. Huh? No. Wrong. No one can know this, for his magnitude is incomprehensible. Huh? The magnitude of the Great Spirit is incomprehensible, huh? When I'm looking at the night sky, or when you're looking at the night sky at the stars, that same view is not the same view that somebody else on the other side of the world, on the North Pole, on the South Pole, is looking at. Huh? We can't see it in its entirety. That's what you call the observable universe. What you can see with the naked eye or with the strongest technological telescope is called the observable universe. But there are more behind that. There's more scenery behind that. And there's more scenery behind that, huh? That's the Great Spirit. That's Jehovah. That's sky. That's earth. That's spirit. And that's all the things that we're made out of. But not only are we made out of those substances, we're not just living stars and suns and moons and earth and stars, moons, planets, and earths. That's our inheritance. That's our inheritance. This is what we're working for. My divisions are not like man's divisions. Jehovah does not have legs and arms and fingers and toes, huh? My divisions are not like man's divisions. Behold, I create one thing within another. Neither space, place, time, nor eternity stands in my way. Know the difference between God and Jehovah. Know the difference. Hey, Princess, I know you're watching, baby. I can see you in the chat. Why don't you bring Daddy a cup of water real quick? I'm getting parched. I'm talking a lot. Bring Daddy a cup of ice water real quick. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's dive deeper. We halfway there. Book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1 through 6. We're going to explore this. We're going to explore Book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verses 1 through 6. All was, all is, all ever shall be, huh? That is past, that is present, that is future. I'm going to say it one more time. All was, that's the past. All is, that's now. All ever shall be, that's future. All was, all is, all ever shall be, the all spoke. Did the all speak audible words? What do we say earlier on in the presentation? The voice is not audible. So what is the speech? The all spoke and motion was and is and ever shall be. That means that it has been creating. It's creating now, and it's going to be forever creating. Did y'all catch that? All was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spoke and motion was and is and ever shall be. And being positive was called he and him. And guess what? The all motion was his speech. What is his motion? It's speech. What is his speech? It's motion. It's expression. It's an animating force. Huh? Are y'all getting it now? Y'all picking up what I'm throwing down or what? Pay attention. Pay attention. The all is a dual being. The all, the Great Spirit is a dual being. Consciousness, conscious existence that is of and is beyond the totality of all existing things, huh? The all is a dual being as one body, not separate bodies, one body. The positive aspect of the Great Spirit represents the he, or the bringing forth, which is the projection, the inspiration, and also the transmission of energy. Remember that. The he is the transmission of energy. To transmit means to do what? It means to convey energy or force through a mechanism. To transmit means to send forward as a recipient or destination. Huh? Pay attention, y'all. It's all cohesive. She brought my water too. Thank you, baby. You put no ice in it? What is projection? Projection is the act of throwing or thrusting forward. See, the he aspect is about the bringing forth, the transmission. Huh? Pay attention, y'all. Oahspe Book of Safar, E11, it states Om is what? The negative of Jehovah. That's the Om. That is the negative of the Great Spirit. The Om is the female. Huh? Now, we're not talking about negative as in evil. So relax, sisters. We're just talking about as in energy. It doesn't mean evil. Shout out to the divine feminine, by the way. Shout out to the sisters, man. Shout out to the divine feminine. The negative of Jehovah, the female. That which projects is positive. But guess what, ladies? That which receives is negative. Huh? That's why that's what I meant, ladies, when I said, no, it's not evil. Y'all just represent the feminine. The female just represents what is received. Huh? What is received. That's the circuit. One transmit, one's received. And that's how you get energy. When you look at batteries and battery flow, we have a negative terminal and we have a positive terminal. Two positive terminals doesn't create a flow. Two negative terminals don't create a flow. We need the negative and we need the positive. We need the male and the female for motion to continue perpetually and progressively. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Book of Jehovah 5:5-6. Jehovah said, because of my presence, I quicken into life all that live or ever have lived. Verse 6 says this, y'all pay attention, because I am male and female. Look at that. Look at that. Because I am male and female, and even in my likeness, pay attention, even in my likeness, I made them thus, because I am the power to quicken into life. So in likeness of me, I made them with power to bring forth. Pay attention. Precept number 2. The eye is the seed of the tree of knowledge, y'all. The eye is the seed of the tree of knowledge. The sight of the eye is the beginning of self-creation. It is the beginning of self-creation in acquiring knowledge. And it does so by doing what? Going forth, which is the transmission, and staying at home, which is the reception at the same time. The sight of the eye is a miniature sun, sending forth and receiving vortexian power at the same time. Come on, y'all. The Great Spirit says, Jehovah says that his motion or her motion is speech. So what is motion? What is this speech that is motion? It is an act, a process, or instance of changing place, movement. It is an active or functioning state or condition. That's the speech of the ever-present Great Spirit. That's what the speech is, huh? Now watch this, y'all. It's an active state of motion. Remember the Creator said back up here, it said all is, all was, and all ever shall be. The all spoken motion was, and motion is what? Motion was, motion is, and motion ever shall be. That means, I told y'all that ever shall be means future. That means if motion ever shall be, that means it is continually creating as we speak. That means it never rests. That means it never ceases to create. It never rests to create. Because if it did, then everything will go into dissolution, because we are dependent on its constant state of motion to be what we are. If the all didn't move, nothing would manifest. It speaks with action, huh? Action speaks louder than words. That's why its voice isn't audible. It don't say, it do. It speaks with action and says the all motion ever shall be, meaning motion continues and never rests or ceases, huh? Watch this, y'all. The Great Spirit never rests because we're dependent on its constant state of motion to keep us sustained. Book of Aranathan, chapter 1, verse 19-23. Watch this, y'all. It says the Great Spirit has not finished his creations and has not retired from his works. That where you have said he tired or he rested, pay attention, y'all, to wherever y'all said the Great Spirit has tired or rested from his works, you have let yourselves fall through errors of language and profanation of the Almighty. To say that the all motion has rested is blasphemous. To say that the all motion has ceased from his works is blasphemous. Because we depend on this constant state of motion to keep us all sustained. For he is also master over all weariness. That's what it means to be the Most High. The Great Spirit is so high that it's higher than its own weariness, that it does not need to rest. Is it making sense? For he is also master over all weariness and is his own everlasting rest and unrest. Bag drop. Bag drop. Beyond the comprehension of mortals and angels, beyond the comprehension. I keep saying the same thing over and over again about the Great Spirit. Its magnitude is incomprehensible, y'all. There is no seeing it face to face. There is no seeing it on the throne wearing a cape or a train. There is no wrestling it. Huh? He is forever bringing together. What is bringing together, y'all? Creating. And forever dissolving and dissipating worlds without number. Huh? Don't we have suns that supernova? When a sun supernova, what is it doing? It's dissipating back into the ether. You know, the same way a cloud dissolves into the sky and we no longer see the cloud. All the cloud did was change forms. It went from condensation to dissolution. Now we got ourselves a clear blue sky. That's what a supernova is to a sun. It just dissolves right back into the ether the same way a cloud dissolves right back into the sky. See? And everything that I'm speaking, I'm telling y'all is objective. It can be observed. The source does not get any better than the object itself. Huh? Huh? It's illimitable in soul and spirit. It is forever quickening into life from his own parts. What are his parts? What are his parts? The elements, the atoms, the hydrogen molecules, the nitrogen molecules, the lead, the gold, the carbon. Those are its parts. The things that we're made up of. Without loss or waste or lack of space and without hindrance. So you can't even hinder it. You can't even get in the way of it. Fourth, that Jehovah is the soul of all and that you are like independent atoms of his person. See that? Bag drop. The Great Spirit said we are like independent atoms of its person. Pay attention. Pay attention. Meaning that I am, or we are members of the body of the I am. We are members of the body of the cosmos. We are members of the body of this reality, this universe, This consciousness, this supreme consciousness, this great spirit. And if I am created in its likeness, if we are created in this likeness, then guess what? I must see myself as that which it says that it is. We must see ourselves in that which it says it is. Are y'all ready for this? Let's get some deeper understanding. Book of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1 through 6 continued. Creator said, I am. I am. That's realization. Everybody say, I am. Everybody say that to yourself. I am. I am. That means I exist right here and right now. I am. I have been localized and brought to a focus in space and in time, here and now. And he comprehended all things, just like we're comprehending the things in front of us now. The seen and the unseen, nor is there anything in all the universe that is not part of him. So what does it mean? What does it mean to say I am? It means that the all is aware and it is conscious of itself. Just like when you say I am, when I say I am, we're aware that we're existing. What is awareness? It means having knowledge. It means to be conscious. It means to be cognizant. What does it mean to be conscious? It means to be aware of one's own existence, one's sensations, one's thoughts, and one's surroundings. Hmm? Hmm? Everything seen is visible and tangible. To our corporal doorways, to our corporal senses. And everything unseen is invisible to the human senses, but expresses itself through the seen. I'm going to say that one more time, because what did we say spirit was? Spirit is the expression of an entity. All this creation, all these earths, all these suns, all these moons, all these stars, all these animals, all these sea animals, all these birds, all these mortals is the expression of the great spirit's entity. We are expressions of the creator. I am an expression of the creator. Say that to yourself. I am an expression of the great spirit. I am an expression of this reality. I am a single individual independent expression of the all expression. He said, I am the soul of all, and all that is seen is part of my person, my body. What is this body? We said that creator's divisions are not like man's divisions. So what is the body of the creator? The sky, the earth, the spirit, and all it encompasses, the elements, the hydrogen, the lead, the gold, the silver, the platinum, the titanium, the carbon. So recognizing that I am is what it means to be spiritual. That's knowledge of self. Recognizing that I am an expression of the all expression, that's knowledge of self. Spirituality is our ability to comprehend and connect with the I am that I am. I am the I am. Let's hear it from Jehovah, the great spirit, y'all. We more than halfway done now. I am the I am. Let's hear it from Jehovah, y'all. Book of Sathantes. Wait a minute. I skipped the whole part. I'm sorry, y'all. He said, I am the soul of all, and all that is seen is part of my person and my body. Aren't we seen and unseen? Don't we have a spirit that is unseen? Don't we have a body that is seen? So guess what? As one body, we are seen and unseen. And guess what? By virtue of my presence, all things are. Now get this, y'all. We are the I am. By virtue of my presence is life. By virtue of my presence, the living are brought forth into life. The great spirit says that I am the quickener. I am the mover. I am the creator. I am also the destroyer. I am the first and I am also the last. But let's go back. Let's say that one more time. See, because we must see in ourselves that which it says it is. If I am the I am, if we are the I am. Prince Judah, aren't y'all movers? Aren't y'all creators? Aren't you a destroyer? Haven't you destroyed things before? Haven't you created things before? Haven't you quickened things? Haven't we moved things, And we are also the first and the last. Well, how is that, Darryl Kosmon? That's impossible. No, it's not. Because guess what? I am the first Darryl Kosmon. I am also the last Darryl Kosmon, meaning I'm going to be the only Kosmon that ever was, that ever is, and that ever shall be. There ain't gonna be no more Sister Karimas. There ain't gonna be no more Kosmon Cows. There ain't gonna be no more Prince Judahs. Because they're the first and unique of their kind, and they're gonna be the last. That means they're gonna be the only, everlasting. Recognizing that I am the I am is what it means to be spiritual. And spirituality is our ability to comprehend and connect with the I am. I am of the I am. Let's hear it from Jehovah. Now watch this. In case y'all think I was crazy, let's hear it. Let's hear it from Jehovah. Or let's hear it from God's mouth. Watch this. Book of Sathantes, chapter 1, verse 28. Watch this. My son, now God. My son, now God. I brought you forth out of Kippur. and quickened into everlasting life. By faith, I inspired you to do whatever you have done. And by faith, I gave you as the tree on which all perfection is the fruit. All perfection is the fruit. By that faith within man, listen to what this says, y'all. This is coming from the Creator's mouth. By that faith within man, which nurtures the what? The I am within himself. Game over. Game over. By faith within man, which nurtures the I am within himself to perfection, he becomes my son. By doing by virtue of my presence, according to your wisdom and love, I have given you strength, and by your strength, what? Raised you up. Raised you up. Resurrected, Raise you up. Y'all see that? Raise you up. Knowledge of self. Through spirit, we are conscious. Pay attention. Through spirit, we are conscious. Through consciousness, we are aware. Through awareness, we can think and perceive. And through thought and perception, we develop the spirit, our expression, by way of what? Practical, observable, objective knowledge. Creation and destruction are part of the same process. Did y'all know that? Creation and destruction are part of the same process, because what did the Creator say? We said that the Great Spirit is a dual being. We said that the Great Spirit is a dual being. So that means that it's both creator and destroyer. Not all destruction is evil. I know that's going to go over people's heads. Not all creation is good. That's going to go over people's heads too. Creation and destruction are part of the same process. We are creators and we are destroyers, meaning that we can't be creators without being destroyers. We can't be destroyers without being creators, meaning I can't create without destroying something, and I can't destroy something without creating something new. Watch this. Y'all see the example right here with the paper airplane. Y'all see the three stages? We got the rectangular paper, we got the process, and we got the product, which is a paper airplane. This is a basic example. Pay attention. In this example, the initial form of the paper has been what? Destroyed. Why has it been destroyed? It was destroyed in order to create a new form. And what is that new form? That new form is a paper airplane. There is no way around it. In order for us to create something new, something has to be destroyed. Try it yourself. Get yourself a piece of paper. Try to make something new without destroying the form, without destroying its rectangular form to get your end product. There's no way around it. There's no way around that. In order for us to resurrect, we have to destroy old ways. We have to destroy our old ways in order to create new ways of living. See that? Anybody in here that's a bodybuilder? How do you get stronger muscle? How do you create stronger muscle? You have to destroy the current muscle that's there. Is it making sense? We are all dual forces in one body. There is no Darryl the creator and Darryl the destroyer as two people. I am one person. You are one person. Now pay attention to this, y'all. Book of Cosmogony 3:21. Pour a few drops of water on a table covered with dust, and each drop of water will become a globe. Y'all seen water drops? They're globular when they land and globe up, right? Look for them tomorrow, and what? They are gone. Why are the raindrops gone tomorrow? Because they evaporated. The form has been destroyed in a process, through a process called evaporation, back into the atmosphere. The globe is annihilated. What is the globe? The globe is the shape. The globe is not the water drop. The globe is the shape. The globe is annihilated, for it was not a thing in fact. The globe is not the thing. The water is the thing. But the water, which is the thing, is not annihilated, but evaporated. It just changed forms, huh? So the term annihilation applies to what are not things, in fact, but which are forms and figures. Huh? It's right. Boy, we getting the education tonight. And in conclusion to this section, and going to bring us into this last section. In conclusion to this section, the Great Spirit says, I am two apparent entities. Nevertheless, I am only one. That goes for me too. That goes for you as well. We are two entities. Nevertheless, we are only one. These entities are the unseen, which is our spirit, which is potent. The unseen is potent. It's potent. And the seen is the other entity, which of itself is what? Impotent. Because it dies and it decays and it falls apart. And that is called corpore. That is called corpore. Our corporal selves are impotent, but our spiritual parts are everlasting and potent. And with these two entities, in what? In likeness to myself, through them, the Creator created you and me and all of the living. For as the life is the potent part, so the corporeal part is the impotent part. All right, y'all, give me just a minute before we get to this last section, y'all. We're going to close out. Because we're going to bring it all together. Now we're going to get into the resurrection and the salvation. Give me just a moment, y'all. All right, y'all, we're going to get up in the salvation and resurrection right now. All right, thank y'all for giving me that moment to give me a cup of water. Don't get a little dry talking my butt off here. Let's bring it together, y'all. Let's bring it home. Oahspe, Book of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2. We're going to reinforce this again. Jehovah said, the Great Spirit said, I created the earth and I fashioned it, and placed it in the firmament, and by my presence brought man forth a living being. I gave him a corporeal body so that he could learn corporeal things. And I made death so that he could what? Rise in the firmament and inherit my Ethereal worlds. The same way we're developing in our mother's womb in corpore, our spirits are developing in the corporeal body, and upon death are born into the heavens. That's why they call the body the womb for the spirit, or the womb of the soul. Key points here. Two things I need y'all to keep in mind is rise and Ethereal worlds. So our purpose is to inherit the Ethereal worlds. What are the Ethereal worlds? I told y'all in the beginning that we were going to revisit this. What are the Ethereal worlds? What are these places that we're going to be developing ourselves to eventually become a god and beyond? Oahspe, Book of Jehovah 2:6 says this. In the all highest places, I created the Ethereal world. Someone raises up so y'all can see the photos. In the all highest places, I created the Ethereal worlds. And I made them of all shapes and sizes, similar to my corporeal worlds. But I made the Etherian worlds inhabitable both within and without. With what? With entrances and exits. Look at the photos. With entrances and exits and arches and curves, thousands of miles high and wide, in colors, movable chasms, in mountains, in endless change and brilliancy. In endless change and brilliancy, and over them I rule with all perfect mechanism. To them I gave motions, I gave orbits, and I gave courses of their own. That's objective. We can look out into space and see that, even our very own planet. And I made them independent and above all other worlds in potency and majesty. Nor did I create one Ethereum world like another in size, in density, or in component parts, but every one differing from another, and with a glory matchless, each in its own way, unique. That's what it means to be unique. The Ethereum worlds or heavens are independent of the atmosphere of the earth. We talked about this earlier. If you're paying attention earlier, it's going to make sense later. The Ethereum worlds or heavens are independent of the atmosphere of the earth. Why is that? Because I explained to y'all earlier on that the atmosphere stands midway between the corporeal earth and the ether, which is considered outer space. Outer space is what lies beyond the atmosphere of the earth. That's why they are called the emancipated heavens, because they are not bound to the atmosphere of the earth. Pay attention. How do we spiritually progress high enough to inherit Etheria, the emancipated heavens? Through salvation and resurrection. Here we go. Here we go. Through salvation and resurrection. So what is salvation and what is resurrection in the context of Oahspe? Oahspe, Book of Inspiration 11, 7, and 8, it states, I am not exclusive. The Creator says, the Great Spirit says, I am not exclusive. What does it mean to be not exclusive? It means that it includes all. But that makes a lot of sense that it includes all, because why? It created all and it encompasses all. And all are alive by presence of its spirit. Think about that. I am not exclusive, but what? I am with all my living creatures. All my living creatures. So that means that everyone is chosen. Not a select few, not an individual, not a group of people. Everyone is chosen. So those who choose me, practicing what? Their all highest light. We talked about highest light, didn't we? If you were paying attention in the beginning, we talked about highest light. So to be chosen, we have to choose. We're all chosen, but we have to choose at the same time. So those that choose me, practicing what? Their all highest light. I am a shield and fortification against all darkness and against all evil and all contention. Remember, y'all, what are the rules of light? We're all chosen by the Creator. We're all chosen by the Great Spirit. But how do we choose for ourselves? We choose for ourselves by practicing our all highest light. Well, let's go back. Remember, let's remind you, what is our highest light? What is our highest light? This is what I want y'all to pay attention to. Our highest light are what? Things that lead to what? Peace. Things that lead to order, and things that lead to the uplifting. The uplifting of who? The uplifting of your neighbor and the uplifting of yourself. That's what it means to be chosen. That's what it means to choose. To be uplifting to your neighbor and to be uplifting to yourself. Huh? Again, what does it mean to uplift? Uplift means to lift up. It means to elevate. We have to elevate ourselves, and with our elevation, we also have to elevate our neighbor. Not that we're responsible for elevating our neighbor, because it's solely responsible for your neighbor to elevate themselves as well. What this is saying is to help those that want to help themselves. Huh? That's what it means to uplift another man. If a man falls down on the ground and he extends his hand for help to get up, you extend your hand to help that man up to walk back up on his feet. But if a man falls and he doesn't extend his hand, but you extend your hand and he doesn't grab your hand to get up, then he doesn't want to be helped. He doesn't want to be uplifted. He doesn't want to elevate. He doesn't want to rise above. He doesn't want to improve his spiritual and social and intellectual conditions. Per the definition, uplift. To uplift, to elevate, to rise above, to improve the spiritual, social, or intellectual condition of your neighbor and yourself. That's what it means to choose the highest light. That's what it means to be chosen. Huh? Remember, keep the words in mind. Choice and practice and etheria. Choice, practice, rise, etheria. Keep these terms in mind, y'all. Pay attention. Don't we save ourselves from the results of negative consequences as a result of our positive actions? Think about that. Don't we save ourselves from the results of negative consequences as a result of our positive actions, y'all? Let that sink in for a second. That's why the Creator says, when you choose me, practicing your all highest light, I am a shield and fortification against all darkness. We have to act on our salvation. We have to act on our resurrection. What does salvation mean? What does it mean here? What is the context that Oahspe is talking about when Oahspe talks about salvation? Well, when we look up salvation in Merriam-Webster dictionary, check out number 2. Check out salvation, the definition number 2. It means liberation. Salvation is liberation from ignorance or illusion. Let that sink in, y'all. Liberation from ignorance or illusion. That's what salvation means. That's what it means to be saved. To be liberated from ignorance. To be saved means to be liberated from illusion. That's what it means to be saved. So practicing our highest light practicing our highest light, that liberates oneself from ignorance and delusion. And it also liberates our neighbor from ignorance and illusion when we're uplifting our neighbor and when we're uplifting ourselves. Let that sink in. And we can't have resurrection without salvation, y'all. How can you expect to rise and elevate and perpetually grow if we haven't liberated ourselves from ignorance? Don't that make sense? Think about that. So from salvation begins resurrection. You can't have resurrection without salvation. Resurrection. Let's look that up. It comes from the Anglo-French resurrection. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Resurrection, croissant. Y'all silly. Y'all goofy as hell. Resurrection comes from the Anglo-French resurrection. Originally, the word was used in Christian context to refer to the rising of Christ from the dead or to the festival celebrating this rising, known as Easter. That's not this context. This context is the word eventually began to be used generally in the senses of what? Resurgence or revival. Its Latin root, surgere, means what? To rise. It means to rise. So we look up resurgo. It means to rise or rise again or rise over and over again, perpetually. Perpetually. When you rise over and over again, that's perpetual motion. It becomes perpetual when we do it over and over and over again. When we over and over again destroy old ways to produce new ones that help us elevate, that's called perpetual growth. Now, let's look at the word revive. Let's look at this word revive. What does it mean to revive? It means to return to consciousness or life. We got to put the source here. The source, where did I get this from? Miriam. 1 second, y'all got to make sure my sources are on here like they should be. Let's see. Revive, right? Yep. This Miriam. Okay. All right. So revive means to return to consciousness or life. Why? Look at that. That's crazy how that's what revive means. It means to return to consciousness or life. Huh? So when we're resurrecting ourselves, when we're reviving ourselves, that means we're returning back to we're coming back to our senses. We're coming from darkness and returning to consciousness and returning to life. We're flourishing again. We're restoring ourselves, huh? We're being restored from depression and being inactive, huh? And what did we say? What did we say motion was? Motion is the speech. Motion isn't inactive. Motion moves, huh? It means to renew in mind and in memory. In mind and in memory. That's what it means, y'all, to resurrect. Huh? Thus, in the context of Oahspe, resurrection means to return from a depressed or inactive state of consciousness and perpetually arise to higher states of consciousness, y'all. We got to promote ourselves. When we're resurrecting, when we make the choice to save ourselves and start resurrecting, we're promoting ourselves, y'all. Look, so in the same way we work on a job and do the job well consistently with consistent quality, we continuously get a raise or a promotion, right? We promote ourselves. We resurrect. What is a promotion? It's the act or fact of being raised in position or rank. It's going to make sense why this is important to understand the rank of a mortal. It means the act or fact of being raised, being resurrected in position or rank. It means the act of furthering the growth or development of something. So the more we save ourselves, the more we resurrect. And we develop, we grow into something new, something higher, something more elevated, something greater. And we look at the synonyms of promotion: rise, elevation, advancement. Look at that. Look at that. So we got choice. We have salvation, we have practice, we have development, we have spirit, and we have rise, meaning resurrection. And it's funny how these terms pop up on the cover of Oahspe. It's funny how these terms pop up on the cover of Oahspe. Oahspe, a primary for the spiritual and practical enlightenment for the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of who? Individuals, groups, and humanity. How do we do that? We do that by salvation. What is salvation? How else do we develop spiritually? By liberating ourselves from ignorance and illusion. It says, nevertheless, through Oahspe, the light of the great spirit, the creator, is revealed to man, and man is to what? Judge himself. Watch this. Nevertheless, through Oahspe, light of Jehovah, the creator, it is revealed to man, and man is to what? Judge himself. Judge himself and what? Labor. I should have put that in big letters right there, to labor. Ooh. Matter of fact, since I got that open, boom. Labor right there. Man is to judge himself and labor to what? Save himself. Man is to labor to save himself. That means we are responsible, so that by this he may have honor and glory. You will have honor and glory. For the will of the Creator is what? The will for the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led. The will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led. How many of us watching the video today still hold a mama hand across the street? How many of us watching today need our mom to change our diaper and take us to the bathroom and potty train us? Hopefully none. Because it's not the will of your mama to always walk you to school or to always be on a bus with you and teach you how to talk to strangers when they're not around, It's the will of the Creator for man to not be forever led. But for man to ultimately have the light of what? Practicing good works organically from infancy up. From infancy up. Don't nobody here still need their mama and their daddy to spoon feed them. You can do it on your own now, right? Now let's restate the former statement using the definition of salvation in place of save. What was the form? What is the statement? The statement is, nevertheless, through Oahspe, light of Jehovah, the Creator is revealed to man, and man is to judge himself, to labor to save himself. Now let's read the definition out in this passage. Watch how differently it hits when it's spelled out. Nevertheless, through Oahspe, light of Jehovah, the Creator, it is revealed to man, and man is to judge himself. And what? And labor to liberate himself from ignorance or illusion. So that by this he may have honor and glory. Bag drop. Labor to liberate oneself? That's gonna make people scratch their head. Labor to liberate oneself. Does this mean we are responsible and accountable for our own salvation? And does this mean that we are our own saviors? Well, let's see what Oahspe has to say about that to answer these questions. Oahspe, Book of Inspiration 13, chapter 13, verse 5, it states, Jehovah says, because I gave you liberty. Because I gave you liberty. Liberty to do what, y'all? Liberty to do what, y'all? Liberty to save ourselves from illusion, and darkness, and ignorance. Or liberty to do the opposite, to go down in darkness. Liberty to choose our highest light, or liberty to choose darkness. That's our liberty. So we have the choice to sow the seed of life and choose me, practicing their all highest light. I am a shield and fortification against all evil. So what do you choose? As the individual, what do you choose? Jehovah says, because I gave you liberty, you are responsible. We are responsible for all that we are, for all we make of ourselves, for all that come to us. Y'all see that? And for all of our peace and happiness, both in this world and in the next one. Both in this world and in the next one. And that make a lot of sense, because whatever takes place with us corporately also takes place with us what? In the mind. In the mind. And now, because I have given you this extreme liberty to choose between the highest light and to choose between darkness, and you have what? Chosen between the two. Behold, we are accountable to ourselves for every thought and every idea and for our spirit and our soul, and in our behavior. And in our behavior, we are responsible to the whole world. And if y'all was paying attention to earlier on when I said that we have an expression, our spirit is our expression. We affect the world around us by the way we behave and by the way we think, because behavior first starts with thought, and how we think is how we behave. That's what we're going to manifest, and that's what we are going to transmit, and that's how we're going to inspire and affect our neighbor, our brother, our sisters, our cousins, our aunties, our uncles, our mothers, our daughters, our sons. Think about that. Let that sink in. Book of Jehovah 22 to 23, it says, now therefore, when you judge yourself to determine the balance of your good and evil deeds and your good and evil thoughts, let the Creator stand as the light of your soul, and through him judge yourself, but not as to your worship, but as to your works. But what is crazy is this: the works is the worship. The works is the worship. Neither shall you judge yourself by any God, any Lord, any Savior, or other idol, nor by any man or woman. For what? For you yourself stand second to Jehovah, the Great Spirit, in your attributes. We stand second to the Creator. We don't stand third. It ain't me, a Savior, and then the source. It's the source and me. It's the source and you. And I always use this analogy. If we're in the sunlight and a man comes and a man or a person comes and stand between me and the sunlight, I am in darkness because I am in the shadow of that man and am no longer direct in the sunlight from the source, which is the sun. Think about that. We stand second to the source, not third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. We stand second. The spiritual journey is between us and the source, between us and the Great Spirit. And the Great Spirit says this: it is our responsibility. I'm going to highlight this real quick. The Great Spirit says it is our responsibility to do what? To do what? To do what? What that say? It is our responsibility to do what? I'm going to let y'all read it before I say it. To make a God of ourselves. To make a God of ourselves. And how do we make a God of ourselves, Great Spirit? How do we make a God of ourselves? By choosing to walk in our highest light, to liberate ourselves from ignorance and behave accordingly in our words and in our deeds. That's emotion. The Creator says, choose your own food. The Creator says to choose your own clothing. The Creator says to choose your house. The Creator says to choose the location where you shall live. The Creator, and I will provide the way for whatever inspiration you may. Oh, I think I'm missing I might be missing a word from there. Remembering that you shall be responsible. Hold on, I screwed this up. Book Inspiration 1330. Hold on, I want y'all to get the full effect of this. Let me look this up real quick. I think I erased a part of that. One moment. All right, hold on. All right. I think I missed a portion of this verse. Hold on, I'm gonna read it over again, y'all. It says, we must choose our own food, choose our own clothing, choose our own house, choose our house, because it is our responsibility. It says, choose a location where you shall live and provide the way for whatever inspiration you may. Okay, that makes sense now. And provide the inspiration for whatever inspiration you may. My apologies, I thought I was reading that wrong. It says, remembering that we shall be responsible in all. So we're responsible for All of our decisions. We're responsible for everything that we choose. We're responsible for. Huh? Remembering you shall be responsible in all, and that the results shall come to you according to whether you fawn up Satan, or emulate your creator. Hmm? Hmm? This is why we have commandments as a guide to lead us toward resurrection. One moment, y'all. This is why we have commandments, because commandments act as a guide to lead us toward resurrection. So, Book of Inspiration 8, 6 through 13, it says this: nevertheless, I created man with the capacity to comprehend this also. For so I designed him from the start to work his way up to what? The Godhead. Here we go again with becoming gods and becoming goddesses and understanding all below us. And I sent my angels to man, teaching him how to distinguish the difference in the inspirations upon him so that he could govern himself accordingly. And my angel said to man, become one with the creator. These are his direct inspirations. What are his direct inspirations, y'all? To love your creator above all else. To love your creator above all else, and your neighbor as yourself. But check this out, y'all, because to love our neighbor as ourselves is to love the creator above all else. It says to give delights only and not pain. It says to not kill, to not do violently against his creatures, to be considerate of the liberty of all the living. Those are commandments. Those are just a few. Those are commandments. They act as guides, to govern our behavior, to discipline ourselves, to shape ourselves up. For example, if we've made the choice to liberate ourselves from ignorance of killing things that our creator created alive, then we've resurrected ourselves in spirit. And as a result, increased our spirit rate among mortals and angels, Do I need to say that one more time? If we've made the choice to liberate ourselves from ignorance of killing things that our creator created alive, then we've resurrected ourselves in spirit, and as a result, increased in our spirit rate among mortals and angels. And I just use one commandment as an example. But what is the opposite of resurrection? Let's look at this. What is the opposite of resurrection? Book of Inspiration 8, 16 to 21 states, but these are your evil inspirations. What are our evil inspirations? To kill, to slander, to punish, to destroy Jehovah's created things, to strive for yourself above another. That means selfishness. Now let's put that in an example. If we made the choice to stay in ignorance and kill things that our creator created alive, then we've declined in spirit. And as a result, decreased in spirit rate or rank among mortals and angels. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. We're almost at the end, y'all. Oahspe, God's Book of Extra. This is what it says. Oahspe, God's Book of Extra, chapter 28, verse 4 through 7. It states this: in which sermon all resurrection is of God. I should have capitalized that. All resurrection is of who? Of God. All resurrection is of God. Anything that you and I or everyone is doing to resurrect themselves, that is of God. Not just of God, who is chief over mortals or over the planet or over the heavens, but the God in yourself, the God within you, the God that you're developing. In which sermon all resurrection is of God, who is Jehovah's Son. But to distinguish that which is of God, I name all who do not desire resurrection. Listen, all who do not desire resurrection, I named all who did not desire resurrection, but love the earth more, Satan. Satan. No, Not a man on the throne with horns, looking over hell of brimstone and fire. No, Satan. What we become when we don't choose our highest light, when we choose darkness and we don't desire resurrection, when we desire ignorance, and when we desire darkness, and when we desire illusion, more than we desire elevation and rising and perpetually growing, that person is called a Satan, satanic. And whoever loved evil and practiced it, I named Satan. See, Satan is you. Satan is me if I choose darkness. And whoever combined as angel or as mortals to make anarchy, I named evil workers for hell. And as God, listen, and as God and heaven is of the resurrection. So who is of the resurrection? God and heaven. As God and heaven are of the resurrection, so are Satan, hell, and the devil of what? The declension. The declension. That's the opposite of resurrection. So what is Satan? Let's look in the Oahspe glossary. Satan is the philosophy of placing self above all others. That means being selfish. That means looking after yourself and nobody else. That means not uplifting your neighbor, only uplifting yourself, even to the expense that it destroys him. It is the animal self. It is the beast self within man. It is the evil voice within man. It is the voice of one's surroundings and inherited tendencies toward what? Darkness. And Satan is the captain of selfish passions. But look at what it says right here. It says, those who love evil and its practice, Those who love evil and its practice, showing that we have the liberty to sow the seed of death, but we also have the liberty to sow the seed of life. And when we sow the seed of death, that leads to the declension. That is of Satan. That is satanic behavior. That leads to death and darkness. But when we sow the seed of life, that is the highest light. That leads to life. That leads to resurrection. That leads to salvation, which leads to resurrection. That leads to the Godhead. All commandments are a system of self-control. Right here in Book of Leka, it states, if the mortal cannot control his habits for intoxication or gluttony or avarice or debauchery or laziness or lying or hypocrisy and preaching what he does not practice, or sexual indulgence or vengeance or anger or tattling mischievously, he is indeed a victim of the hands of Drujas, which are evil spirits. And at the time of his death, he becomes one with them. He becomes one with those evil spirits at the time of death. That's what happens when you choose darkness. There is no resurrection for you after death when you choose darkness. There is only declension. There is only oneness with those evil spirits who you satisfied and gratified. For if he does not have power to rule over and if he does not have the power to rule in such matters while he is a mortal in this world, he will be no stronger by the loss of his corporal body. Bag drop. I just explained that before we read it. We have to rule over those demons. If the mortal on the other hand, if the mortal on the other hand shall have what? Risen to what? Risen to control himself over these habits and over these desires, he will be indeed at the time of death already entered into the first resurrection. And the Drujas, if he has any, so if you have any bad spirits clinging to you while you are alive, while you're overcoming them, guess what? Those Drujas will be delivered also. Because as mortals, when we have bad spirits clinging to us for any reason, as we change our good habits, we inspire their good habits to change too. So we uplift evil spirits while we're mortal. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? So controlling our habits leads to the resurrection of the spirit, and not controlling our habits leads to the declension of the spirit. Huh? So if we don't make the choice to save ourselves from ignorance by exercising self-control and practicing those commandments and uplifting our fellow brothers and sisters, there is no increase in spirit rate. There is no resurrection, and there is no etheria. There is no resurrection to the Godhead, y'all. So here it is, y'all. We at the very end. What is the spirit rate and grade, and why is it important for the resurrection of the heavens? What is spirit rate? Oahspe describes our spiritual ascension like school. This is how we're graded by God. This is how we're graded by God, looking down on us, or looking down to us, not down on us. I don't want to say it that way. For example, we are subjected to a school until we graduate from that school, right? And so from kindergarten to 5th grade, we are subjected to what they call elementary school, or K5, and then we graduate and move on. And what do we move on to from there? We move on to 6th to 8th grade. And then we graduate from there and we move on to high school. And then we graduate from there and we move on to college. No different in spirit. No different in spirit rate. Don't y'all know that this life is school? Some drop out, some graduate. Think about that, y'all. So in like manner is our spiritual ascension in the heavens as described in Oahspe. So we're graded from 1 being the lowest to 99 being the highest. Let's read the descriptions. Book of Judgment 12, 3, 6, and 17. It says, these are the grades of the resurrection of the souls of men. This is what happens in heaven. This is what Oahspe explains to us happens in heaven. These are the grades of the resurrection of the souls of men. I people the heavens of the earth with spirits of the dead, according to their grade in their corporeal lives. Did y'all see that? According to their grades in their corporeal lives, so do I arrange them. I do not fill the air of the firmament with angels scattered about, but I give the regions habitable and home-like. But I give them regions habitable and home-like. And I grade the regions as to how suitable they are to the resurrection of the spirits of the dead. And resurrection continues in the heavens. Book of Judgment 6, 11 through 14, it states, the grades of my heavens of the earth being atmosphere. We talked about that in the beginning, being an atmosphere. Atmosphere is the realm that moves parallel to the earth. In general, follow this manner. Now, what did I say about the grades? The lowest being number 1, the highest being 99. Check it out, y'all. It says grade 1 is on the earth. Grade 50 is midway between the earth and the emancipated heavens, etheria. We went over that in the beginning. Grade 25 is 1/4 of the way up from the earth toward etheria. But grade 75 is 3/4 of the ways up toward etheria, and so on. Intermediate grades and places of ascent corresponding in like manner. There's the chart we have right there. The lowest is grade 1. Intermediate is grade 50. The highest is grade 99. This is just a diagram. This is not literal. I mean, literal as in where their placements are. But look here. Grade 1, grade 25, grade 50, grade 75, grade 99. Depending on how much we raise up in the heavens on the plateaus and etheria. Watch this. Synopsis of the 6. Wait a minute, I missed one. I did. But grade 99 is the highest grade. Grade 99 is the highest atmospherian grade, which is preparatory to the entrance into the company of the all pure in spirit. So our goal is to resurrect ourselves to reach grade 99. And after 99, we graduate into etheria. And what do you say etheria was? The emancipated heavens. To cruise the cosmos. Because I explained to y'all in the beginning that the cosmos is our inheritance. The cosmos is our inheritance. Oahspe synopsis of the 16 cycles. It says, during a cycle, the earth and her heavens travel through the Etherian regions of hundreds of Etherian worlds. Hundreds of Etherian worlds, y'all. And which are inhabited by the great spirits, high-raised angels, whose chiefs are involved in the management of worlds, gods, and gods beyond those gods. And during the time of a cycle, the earth is therefore under the control and management of such angels of Jehovah for the what? The resurrection of man of the earth. The resurrection, huh? So, did I spell that wrong? Not concussion, conclusion. Goodness gracious. I guess it's the, hey, I hope this didn't cause a concussion. Hey, when we reach a certain level of resurrection or ascension in the heavens, we achieve the rank of guardian angels, lords, and eventually what? God. Right here in Book of Sathantes, it says this. It says Jehovah had said, those who come out of the earth shall be sufficient to themselves. Those that come out of the earth shall be sufficient to themselves. As a mother provides for her child, so do I provide for the spirit generations of a corporal world. But when they are mature in wisdom, in strength, and in love, I command them to take the offices of lords and gods in the management of my kingdom, y'all. That's the destination, is to become God. Is to become God. Now, this should say in conclusion, but I like the way it fixed it and said concussion, because I'm pretty sure that this is going to cause some cognitive dissonance. So in concussion, it is our responsibility to make a God of ourselves. That does cause a concussion, doesn't it? This is the last passage, and I'll be done. Oahspe, Book of Judgment, Book of Judgment, chapter 13, 40, verse 43 to 47, it states. Listen up, y'all. Listen up, y'all. This is listen how beautiful this is. It says, do not make your confessions, which are between you and your creator. Remember, I told y'all, we stand second to the Great Spirit. We stand second to the Great Spirit. Do not make confessions which are between you and your creator before men, because it is not another man's responsibility. What you got going on is between you and the creator, but covenant with him within your soul, saying nothing of this for the laudation of men. That means for their praise. It says our spirit is as a seed of a beautiful tree. This is how much our creator loves us. It says our spirit is as a seed of a beautiful tree, which your creator planted, localized, and brought us to a focus, remember? It says, give this seed good light and clean soil so that it blossoms. Who here wants to bloom? Who here wants to blossom? So that your seed blossoms and its fruits may glorify your creator, but not only your creator and you. Such is the resurrection. Such is the what? Such is the resurrection of the spirit of men. It says, do not wait. This is the resurrection of the spirit of men. It says, do not wait for a savior to save you, nor depend on words or prayers, nor on listening to good sermons, flattering yourself that you have done well, but begin to save yourself. And what is saving yourself? Liberating yourself from ignorance and illusion. And it says, how do we do this? By purifying our flesh, by purifying our thoughts, and by the practice of good works done to others with all of our wisdom, our love, and our strength. For these only is there any resurrection. I want to say that again. For these only is there any resurrection for you, either in this world or the next. Love and light, family, love and light. All praises to the ever-present Great Spirit, whose magnitude is incomprehensible. Much love. Much love.